Pisces, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your mid-June reading. We're going to take a look at your overall general energy, what you may not see coming, and get some important advice from Spirit. Let's start off with a quick little self-care tip for the rest of the month. And then we're going to pull your tarot messages and end off with the key oracle. What's this self-care tip for the rest of the month? What does Spirit want? This is a healing, self-healing work oracle deck. I pull it once a day. I pull from this deck, and I felt like switching up the oracle message for you all after doing Scorpio. I don't know why. I just felt like it's something that you're focusing on, maybe more self-care, taking really good care of your health. All right. On the bottom. We have to look upon the environment with optimism. The pessimism is within us. Think of an issue in your life you've been negative about recently and apply this lens. My challenges are my greatest teachers. I use them to learn about myself and to live more consciously and authentically. Oh, I like that. It's hard to see it that way, right? How challenges can be our greatest teachers. You could be reflecting on a challenge and how much it's shaped you to live a more authentic life. In the, I would pronounce the person who did the quote, we have to look upon the environment with optimism. The pessimism is within us. Sridhar Maharaja. I hope I said that right. And the other one is, if monks and nuns do not cherish their time of practice, they will have nothing to offer the world. Thich Nhat Hanh. Find peace in your extraordinary efforts. Your work is not in vain. Great messages. I like that deck a lot. I use it every day, just as a little gentle reminder, right, of what to focus on. Optimism and on the cultivation of peace. That your work on yourself is never in vain. Okay. Let's see. Jump into the tarot now. This will be the tarot portion of the message. Ooh. The Devil and the High Priestess. You're having a hard time listening to your intuition. There's a lot of fear clouding you at the moment, Pisces. Interesting. I rarely see that combination. And that could be that whole... Sometimes we go down a path that we think we're being intuitively guided down, but we're not really listening to our intuition. It's our fear. Only take what resonates, though, on that message. Just felt sort of like that. Whoa, okay. Recent past, Five of Swords, some confusion. Three of Wands, you're waiting on some sort of new opportunity to come your way. Ooh, Queen of Cups, opportunity to open up your heart in the near future. And the challenge is a Knight of Cups. Someone wanting to bring love to you. You could be waiting on a new love opportunity, Pisces. Ooh, it's time to get ready, though. You ready to receive? Look at, she's got her hands open wide. This is the card of triumphant success, right? Stepping out into the limelight. This looks like, to me, like some of y'all are getting ready to go date. Or you've got someone, a person of interest that's making you wait and you're not sure. But I do believe if you are waiting on a new opportunity here and there's been some confusion around this, you're going to be moving towards greater success, greater love flowing. You know, from the Knight to the Queen. It's beautiful increase in the amount of love. And it doesn't have to be romantic love. It's just giving more love to the people around you. If you've been challenged in that regard, well, you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you are feeling a little bit off about, like, wait a minute, I thought that this was what I was trying to create. It's like, you know, your efforts have not been in vain here, Pisces. So if you are not happy with what has been manifesting in front of you and you feel like you're repressing parts of yourself and you feel in a bit of lack, Spirit is saying, change the story. Because you have an opportunity for optimism and success here. It's right in front of you. Maybe it feels like it's out of reach. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go a little deeper. The devil. This devil wants to come out. Are you trying to conquer some sort of unhealthy situation? Some sort of, I don't know why I just got this, fatal attraction? I hope not. I don't know why I just got that. I never hear that, fatal attraction. I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh dear. Oh, this is around limitations around committing to something that is not feeling like it's going to pay off. All right, let's see. Six of Wands, Six of Wands. Why are you feeling good? Overall, this is a good feeling though. Spirit's saying you can decide which way you want to look at this. You can look at all the positives, or you can look at all the negatives. It's your choice. I mean, literally. We have the Judgment and the King of Wands, right? This is about a person. It feels like it's about a person. Someone who's very attractive, that you might really desire, or this is about your desires. I think you're making a judgment call around someone who has a lot of fire in their chart. Fiery, Aries, Leo, Sag. There's been a lot of anxiety, but it really depends on how you look at it. This is so fascinating because this is yippee. This is, oh my God. Is this a fatal attraction? Because I'm getting mixed messages here. Maybe that's, you are too, because there's some confusion here. Five of Swords. You're like, I thought this was great. This was going to be great. Oh, it is about a connection. We're going to talk about it. It's funny because I've been doing a lot of readings today and they've been really career focused. This is a lot about love. Pisces, we're going to go there. If I'm feeling the energies of the frequency of a romantic issue, this is a problem because we have 2 5s here and there's some sort of lack when it comes to a choice. Someone is bringing you an opportunity here of the Knight. But why is it wrong or off or this doesn't... It's like you're being challenged to open your heart to somebody and make a choice here. And what's the problem here? I mean, the Five of Swords can be butting of heads. The Five of Pentacles is a feeling of lack. Like you're not going to get to a positive, successful outcome here. But we have the Six of Wands. So is it something that's a block within you, or is it literally something going on outside of you that you can't control? Maybe someone's making you wait and your mind is going crazy during the wait. And Spirit's saying, just hold steady. Everything's going to be okay. Is this the whole, like, when insecurities creep in, when you must go slow in a situation and it's spiking up all of these worries and doubts and fears? Interesting. Let's see. Three of Wands. The opportunity here. Another Three of Wands. Ten of Wands, Three of Swords. Yeah. This isn't... I thought maybe it was a new love opportunity. But it looks like it's become like really hard. I mean, 2 Three of Wands here in the opportunity. You might just decide, you know what, this isn't worth waiting for. Maybe that's the victory. Maybe that's the decision. It's like if someone's going to make you wait, Pisces, and leave you up in a state of lack and uncertainty, and maybe someone's making you false promises, like, you know, maybe someone is married or they're in another connection. And as we have the Three of Swords here, it doesn't feel like a third party situation. It just feels like someone's making promises that you're having a hard time really believing at this point. Because you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. We're waiting a long time here. And as you wait, it's becoming harder and harder and harder. And it's creating pain and fear and doubt and insecurity. No wonder you feel this way, Pisces. Should never have people... Here's the thing, too, is if you've been waiting on somebody who's giving you all of these false promises, you've learned a lot along the way. So, I mean, the whole all this work that you're doing on yourself isn't in vain, but you may have to make a judgment call around this King of Wands, male or female. They show up in their masculine energy, which means they have more of the control here, and you're more submissive, and you're the one who's kind of like off balance in the situation. It doesn't mean they're not. It just means you've given them the power. And Spirit's saying you got to take back the power now, because now you're manifesting more of what you don't want, which is lack and feeling trapped in a situation, waiting in vain, perhaps. What was that Bob Marley song? I don't want to wait in vain for your love. It's like, shit or get off the pot. Somebody, pardon my French. And the challenge here, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. So it does feel like it's going to get easier, because you're going to make a decision in the next 2 weeks about whether you're going to continue to wait and continue to get worn out by the situation. Your energy is pulled back. You're starting to understand, wait a minute, okay, this is not a stable situation. The challenge is I need to stabilize this in myself and love myself enough to say enough is enough. A lot of you might just be deciding to stop waiting for something and to move on with that Six of Swords, which is, you may have to turn your back on somebody. The thing is I think they know that you're waiting, and they know that it's hurting you. I'm not really sure the circumstances that you're going through here, except that this is not feeling right. What's this Queen of Cups here, though? It's going to tell me where things are heading. Is this person going to surprise you? And come towards you? Communication. I'm getting a lot of communication. Your heart's opening. Let's see. These two. Okay. You know what? You could be on a timeout with somebody, and you're trying to stabilize the situation. There's been a lot of wounding. You could be physically or emotionally separated at this time, and you're trying to heal from some hurt that the situation has created, both of you. You might just be trying to give something time and space. But I do see a huge change coming in the situation. Yeah, I feel like you had a love opportunity, right? And it just, something was off. You were very confused in the past. You've been waiting. It feels like you're determined to work through whatever the issue is here. But you're being guided. I think the challenge is to just keep being patient with the process and holding back. Gosh, I have no, you know what? This could be someone that this could be a long distance situation with the 2-3 of Wands. And you're having a hard time determining how to bring things together. I mean, it's like you have your own stability, they have their own stability, but how do you bridge the two worlds? There's a lot of love here with the Queen of Cups. I think that there's going to maybe someone isn't budging here over what needs to change in order to bring this together, whether it's distance or there's just emotional distance, There's distance here. It does feel like a timeout or a pause to figure things out right now and to make some important decisions about the fate of this, the future of this relationship. Yeah, I feel like you've manifested something that it's like there might be extenuating circumstances that are impacting this, not the love. The love is here. You're trying to ground this relationship in the 3D world. And both of you are trying to communicate the changes that need to happen to bring this back together. Interesting. It feels like a bit of a struggle here in this situation. Let's go into what you don't see coming. It's trying to stay positive at a time where there's a lot of uncertainty over whether there's going to be compromise here. It's like you two need to compromise about something that almost is like bringing two worlds together and they're not meshing right. There might be some sort of incompatibility that is outside of your control here. I'm not sure what it is. And if it is long distance, it could be one of those things where it's like, well, I don't know if I can move. Well, I don't know if I can move. I mean, it's just one of those things. It becomes hard too. Long distance relationships are hard, y'all. And they're a lot more common now with the internet and people meeting each other from afar and making these incredible soul bonds. But then, having to move mountains and change your entire life to be together. It takes a lot of patience. Yeah, a lot of patience. But you know what? You two are determined. I'll tell you what. Now when I see matching court cards, I am seeing that you two are matched in what you want to do to bring your worlds together. And you're matched in the love, all right? And you're matched in the clarity of what you want. But it almost this feels like one of those like less fatal attraction, but more, wow, this is going to be really complicated to make this work. Flights, different time zones, or someone, traveling a lot for work, not seeing them. Or, there's a big age difference. There's just something there's some sort of river of a divide here that is external. It's not about the love or the stability. It feels like there's distance here, physical distance. This feels very specific. But what I'm seeing here is that you're trying to both of you are trying to manifest how to bring your worlds together. And it almost feels like almost nearly impossible. It's interesting too. I often wonder how many relationships are long distance these days, because a lot of my private readings are people meeting from afar. And the struggle is real, y'all, when you meet someone and you just don't know, because you can't really get to know them in a normal way. You're going to spend a weekend together or time together and they're not working. You don't see them in their day-to-day necessarily. And you're trying to make informed decisions based on more of the romanticized kind of getting to know someone instead of just having dates. You're having like 4 or 5 days together. Now, if this doesn't have to do with a long-distance relationship, you are taking a time out from someone and you're trying to work through some pain and trying to what Spirit's trying to get you to do is to not look at what's wrong, look at what's right, look at the path forward. If you still really love this person and they love you, which I do believe you do, I see this. It's time to be careful with how you're manifesting, because if you're focusing on everything that's wrong and everything that was perceived negative in the situation, you're going to create more of that. So I do think that there's this push right now to not get yourself all stressed and anxious about the things that you can't control. Stay positive about the situation, right? There will be a feeling of victory here, but what that's going to require is to make a decision. This relationship has its challenges. And you could both be getting triggered in your wounding. And even in trying to figure out how to compromise, there's triggering going on. And I do see if you can both get out of feeling pessimistic about it's like you have like this stumbling block. And each time it happens, you get so defeated around the future happiness of this relationship. But if you took a look at it and you really started to open up to it and ask it, what is this trying to teach me about myself that I need to learn? And you do that in each other separately and then you do it together. I feel like this is going to come down to having an important conversation in the near future that's going to bring out clarity, change, stability, and love. I feel like you two just need to talk it out. And maybe that's what you haven't been doing. And you're going in all these scenarios, like spiraling, death spiraling the relationship because of all the unknowns. So communication is key here. We're talking like paramount in order for things to change. And I feel like they're going to really change. It's like going to be a complete 180 in the situation if you two can talk about things and make a plan. Let's get some advice. I've got all these crystals on one deck. All right, let's get some advice. You need to have an important talk. And do the work to go through the transformation that this requires. Yeah, I feel like you're at a critical juncture in a connection here. And it might be just what each of you have to do to bring things back together again. The clarity that's needed. And you know what? All that, it's funny because I have people in my life that, I'm a good friend, I guess. And people come to me for advice. And a lot of times it's just their self-doubt around speaking their truth and speaking from the heart. And I do believe, Pisces, that if you're having relationship issues, if you speak the truth and you speak it from your heart and you do it with love, love and action can create miracles. So whatever you need to do to speak from your heart, do it. I think it's going to make a huge difference. And try to stay positive. I think this situation is completely transforming if two of you are willing to do the work. Some people are worth holding on to, right? If two people were really willing to surrender to the connection and do the work that it requires, I think anything is possible. But I'm a hopeless romantic over here and an eternal optimist. So even when something looks like it's going to die, if two people want to resurrect it, save it, do the work, bring it together, far be it from me to say it's impossible. What's the advice here for you, Pisces, in this situation? What's the advice here from Spirit? Ooh, yeah. This is the card of the private investigator, and this is about digging deep and learning about the limiting beliefs and the patterns and the programming that is contributing to this stress and anxiety that you're feeling, Pisces, in a situation where you actually could have great, massive success. This is around your heart space. A question I often ask myself too whenever I'm faced with a difficult decision is I always ask, what would love do? And really sit with that. What would love do in this situation? We have the Six of Swords, the High Priestess. I feel like before you give up on this, you two need to have a talk. And you need to really listen to your own intuition and what your inner knowing, the deep part of you, has a lot to say about this. What does your intuition tell you? And what would love do? Your advice here is to look at this. Look at all the perspectives. I think you're moving towards a healing talk the second half of June. And if you really bring your true self into it and you don't speak from your wounded self, it could totally change this whole situation. There's healing here. I don't see the card of healing, but I feel it. That you have an opportunity to heal something. It may not even be a love bond. It's someone that you really love in your life. It could be a child in your life because we have the page here. It could be, it's in someone who you have had a rift with. There's been distance, separation, discord, disharmony. And you may be thinking negatively, like all hope is lost. But you know what? I don't think so. I think that there's a chance for you're getting help by the universe with this because they know all, they see all, your soul sees all. And all it's going to take is for you to open your heart and communicate. A lot of this does have to do with a romantic union though, and being on that that you're hanging on by a thread here, but that thread could save the entire relationship. And that thread is talk. Really talk, okay? Speak from your heart. And when you do, if you both conclude it's time to move on and let go, you at least spoke your truth and you spoke from your heart, and you cannot regret that. I do believe, though, that if you think you're on the brink of something being over, I don't think so. I just think it's transforming. And you two are aligning in a much better way. But you got to see the positive in this. This is about compromising and blending two energies together to make everything flow in a healthy way. Once more. Let's get the key oracle. Hang on. I just feel like Spirit's saying, hang on. Save a little room for a healing talk before you make a decision here. I think you're going to get, if you do not have communication, you will. Childhood wounds. Yep. They impact relationships, their romantic relationships the most. Patience needed. Full circle completion. Yeah. Let's read these. Retrieve. Your inner child is looking to heal so you can move on by understanding the situation in a new light. Going within to heal requires self-love and compassion. Gaining perspective through energy work or therapy can be very helpful to access tools to empower your inner child. Completion, full circle. You have chosen to learn from your mistakes and move forward, closing out the cycle. Every layer of yourself you acknowledge is a layer that served its purpose. You are now feeling your power by seeing your inner strength and determination pay off. Be proud of this moment and let it carry you forward. Patience needed. Timing. I did mention that it felt like the timing was off or has been off between the two of you. Be mindful not to rush or push your agenda at this time. Trust in divine timing and less in instant gratification. Having patience allows everything to unfold as it should. The seeds have been planted, now let them grow. Yeah, you know what? I think that you've been planting seeds of healing in a situation that you've had to wait on. Meanwhile, there's a lot of important work in realigning in each of yourselves. I think that you both have had to pull away for a very important reason. To look at things differently, to readjust. And just because you pull away from something doesn't mean it's over. But it's time to move past what has created the wounding and look at what's underneath it. And to be patient with the process when it comes to healing things between you and this person. All right, Pisces, that is my message to you. Give yourself a lot of self-love and a lot of patience these days, okay? All right, I'll see you in the next one soon. Take care.